welcome back to Yogalates with Esther. It's awesome to have you join me for this no feet exercise. This is a full body workout. We're going to be here for 20 minutes and all you need is a chair and some kind of comfortable position to be in. So it can be on a couch, a office chair. This is perfect for you if you want a full body workout but you're not able to be in a standing position. And of course you can add some wrist weights if you want to, or some ankle weights to increase the intensity of this. Now we're going to be starting in a seated position, so finding that length into the spine, rolling the shoulders up, releasing the shoulders down. And let's just do a few of those shoulder rolls back. So as you inhale, bringing the shoulders up, as you exhale, releasing the shoulders down and away from the ears. And keeping this going as you continue here, finding some deeper breaths and finding even more length into the spine, noticing the tailbone as it lengthens down into your chair, and noticing as you find that same line all the way from the tailbone all the way out the top of the head, and keeping your core softly engaged. Now we're going to be staying here. You're going to be lengthening the left arm up and then bringing the palm to face inward as you start to lower the elbow down and releasing the arm down. So continuing here, the arm comes all the way out to the side and you are keeping the rest of the body really still with this. So it is only the arm working, really feeling into those bicep muscles as you draw the arm down, bending through the elbow, releasing the fingertips towards the earth. So continuing to find that core engagement and making sure you've got a beautiful neutral pelvis here, so you're not tucking the tailbone under and you're not pressing the tailbone back. You are sitting up tall out of the sit bones and finding a beautiful lengthening up out the top of the head. Now let's come straight over to the other side. So starting to bring the right arm out and then starting to rotate through that shoulder as you lower the elbow down into the sideways, palm faces inward, and then releasing the fingertips towards the earth. And breathing in as you bring the arm out, exhale as you start to lower the arm back down. Making sure you're relaxed into the jaw, you aren't bringing any tension into the lower body, so you're sitting up tall out of those sit bones, keeping your core engaged. Shoulders are both relaxed here, really isolating through the arm and the shoulder muscles here. And keep this going. Inhale, bringing the arm up. Exhale, releasing the arm down. Nice work. Now let's just roll those shoulders up, release the shoulders down, and then rolling the shoulders forward. So we are starting to reverse that shoulder roll. As you start to bring the shoulders up towards the ears, exhale as you release the shoulders forward and down. Softness into the elbows and finding that you are still sitting up really tall. You've got the head over the heart is over the pelvis. You've got this beautiful long line here. Now staying here, you're starting to lengthen the left arm up, palm faces outward, and then you are finding length through the side waist as you start to draw the arm up and then lowering the elbow in towards the side waist. Continuing with this, I really want you to imagine that both hips and the pelvis is down, so you are not moving at all through the pelvis. You are finding almost a feeling of coming up and over, lengthening up through the sideways, through that left side. Both shoulders are relaxed and you are finding even more length up and over. And then you're also squeezing into the arm as you start to draw that elbow in towards the sideways. Let's come over to the other side. So the right arm comes up and over, keeping both hips down, keeping the core engaged, shoulders relaxed, and breathing, coming up and over, and exhale as you draw the elbow in towards the sideways. Really feeling into the oblique muscles, the muscles through the side abs, but at the same time we are also working into the arms here, the shoulders, and also really finding a full core engagement. Inhale, coming up. Exhale as you start to squeeze that elbow in towards the side waist, relaxing through that left arm so you're not locking out through the left elbow as you do this. Now let's come all the way back down and staying here. Starting to tuck the tailbone under, bringing the chin to chest, hands come onto the top of the knees. And then as you inhale, starting to come all the way up, keeping the chin tucked down and the head comes up last. Exhale as you release the shoulders down and away from the ears. And then starting to round forward again. And as you inhale, you're coming all the way back up. Exhale, releasing the shoulders down, and then belly button comes back towards the spine as you tuck the tailbone, chin to chest, and then inhale, lengthening back up again, keeping this going. As you do this, you are finding that the hands are relaxed, the arms are relaxed, so we are really engaging into that core, bringing that belly button back towards the back body as you start to round forward, and then keeping that engagement of the core as you start to draw all the way back up, stacking the spine, and exhale, releasing the shoulders away from the ears, finding that beautiful rounding forward, and then exhale as you start to release the shoulders down, finding that beautiful length from the tailbone all the way out the top of the head. Staying here, inhale as you sweep the arms up, exhale, bringing the hands down through prayer, and then inhale, bringing the hands up to a high prayer, looking up, exhale as you sweep the arms out to the side and circle, sweep the arms forward, palms come together. Inhale, coming all the way up, lengthening up, exhale as you lower the elbows down, sweeping the arms all the way around, bringing the palms together and coming back up, lengthening up, keeping this going. So as you continue with this, keeping your ribs closed, belly button is back towards the spine, you are keeping the shoulders away from the ears, and it's almost as though you are imagining that you are hugging something in front of you as you round the spine, bringing the chin to chest, tucking the tailbone under, relaxing through the lower body, so keeping both feet connected to the floor and keeping the pelvis heavy, and finding even more length each time that you come up. Shoulders are down and away from the ears, elbows coming close. Now let's stay here, starting to twist towards the right side. So taking the left hand to the outside of the right knee, gazing over that right shoulder. Inhale, lengthening up even more from the tailbone out the top of the head. Exhale as you start to twist a little bit deeper, and doing that again. Inhale, lengthening up, exhale, starting to come all the way over to the other side, and we are starting to twist towards that left side. Inhale as you lengthen up, exhale, twisting a little more deeply, making sure you're not forcing this, so keeping your hips down and keeping the pelvis heavy. You are lengthening up, and exhale as you twist a little bit more, gazing over that left shoulder. Inhale, unravel, coming all the way back through center and releasing the shoulders down and away from the ears. Now you're starting to interlace the fingers, pressing the palms forward, and then you are bending through the elbows as you start to draw the palms to come into the heart center, lengthening up and rounding forward, pressing those palms forward, shoulders away from the ears, tucking the chin, and then you are lengthening all the way back up as you start to bring the palms to come into the heart center, keeping the shoulders away from the ears the whole time. Belly button comes back towards the back body, and you are finding a beautiful lengthening up from the tailbone all the way out the top of the head as you come up. And then you are starting to tuck the chin down, finding length through the back of the neck as you start to round forward. Nice. Let's stay here, guys, and we are taking a moment here to readjust, finding that your feet are both in an even position on the floor here, and we are keeping length into the spine. You're just starting to bring the hips to come back as you start to keep that length into the spine, and starting to shift from the hips forward, and then using your belly button to spine to draw you all the way back through to your neutral. So as you continue here, really imagining that you are keeping the head, the back, the tailbone all in that same line. The shoulders are away from the ears, and you've got a neutral pelvis. You've got your core engaged the whole time, ribs are closed, And you are using your core to draw you back up, to lengthen up, and then you're maintaining that core connection as you start to hinge from the hips, starting to allow the torso to come forward. Nice work, making sure you're not gripping into any parts of the lower body, the hips, and let's stay here. Now you're starting to bring the chin down towards the chest and keeping that length into the spine, feeling that beautiful stretch into the back of the neck. And then we are starting to circle the head all the way around in one direction. So you might close your eyes here or soften your gaze as you start to find a circle of the head, relaxing through the jaw, letting the shoulders relax, keeping a soft core engagement, taking a deep breath in through the nose and maybe releasing that out the mouth or out the nose. And really feeling into any parts of the neck that might need a little bit more of a stretch. Maybe you're rolling over those a couple of times. And then when you're ready, reversing this, going all the way back in the opposite direction. Breathing deeply in through the nose and fully out. Relaxing every part of the body, relaxing the arms, relaxing the pelvis, feet, all the muscles of the face, breathing deeply in and fully out. Nice. Let's come all the way back through center, rolling the shoulders up, releasing the shoulders down. And we are starting to bring the feet out a little bit wider, sitting up tall out of the sit bones, finding that neutral pelvis. And then we are starting to lift the right heel and then lower it down, and then lifting the left heel, lowering it down, and then alternating from side to side. So as you continue with this, really feeling into the calf muscles, the back of the legs, and we are finding that connection here of the foot as well, so rolling the foot from the top of the foot all the way down, feeling into that, keeping the pelvis in a very still and stationary position, keeping the belly button back towards the spine, keeping this going. Maybe you're making this a little bit faster, or you might even be starting to pulse on each side to really connect into the back of the legs here, keeping your shoulders relaxed, keeping that core engagement, breathing deeply in, fully out, maybe going a little bit faster. And we are really getting every muscle here today in this 20-minute workout. Might be seated, but we can still get into every muscle, even in a seated position. Nice work. And then we are starting to slow this down. So maybe you're pulsing on each side. Maybe you're lifting both heels up and finding that connection through both of the calf muscles at the same time. Now let's start to lower the heel down, lifting the toes back towards the face, and then you are rolling all the way forward again, lifting the heels. So as you continue with this, just trying to keep everything else in the body really still. So we are not moving anywhere else, but keeping that neutral pelvis. You have got a lift up out of the pelvic floor all the way out the top of the head, and you are finding that connection into the back of the legs and also the front of the legs here. Breathing deeply in, fully out. Nice work. Let's come back through center, finding your stationary position. And then you're starting to walk the feet in a little bit here and taking a moment to readjust. And then we are going to start to find a neutral pelvis again, lifting up tall out of the pelvic floor all the way out the top of the head. You're starting to lift the right foot up and then lower it down and then lift it back up. So keeping this going, we are lifting and lowering through that right leg. And if you want to make this more challenging, you might start to straighten the leg a little bit out. So pointing the toes and lifting and lowering, making sure though as you do this that you're not rocking off to one side. We are starting to really get into the front side of the leg, as well as using your core to lift and lower that leg, and keeping everything else still. So really isolating into that right side only lifting the leg up as high as what you can feel and what feels challenging for you without coming into any kind of pain here. So important, listening to your body. And let's come straight to the other side. So you are starting to lift and lower through that left leg. Softness into the knee, and we are really finding that core connection here as well. Belly button back towards the spine, shoulders relaxed, lifting and lowering, working at your own pace and at your own range. Maybe you're starting to straighten the leg out a little bit more. Maybe you're not. Maybe you have the knee bent the whole time and you're only lifting up a little bit off of the floor. Maybe not even at all. So really working with connecting into the muscles of the leg without going too far with this. So really important, listening and tuning into your body. Nice. And one more here. Let's come all the way back through center and rolling the shoulders up, releasing the shoulders down. Now we're starting to find a lift of one knee as you bring the opposite elbow to the inside of that knee, then lowering the foot down and coming to the other side. So as you continue with this, making sure that you are keeping that neutral pelvis, the core is engaged, shoulders relaxed, and you're using your core to lift the knee up. Keeping the ribs closed and lifting up tall. Just bringing that knee up as high as what you can and placing the foot down with control. Shoulders are relaxed, jaw is relaxed. Any twisting is coming from the belly button up. So we are keeping the pelvis very heavy and the hips are staying down. And keep this going, you guys. Have some fun with this, moving at your own pace. Maybe you're going fast, maybe you're going slower, and really connecting into all of the muscles that we're working here. Finding one more on each side. And then we are coming all the way back, and we are going to start to bring the arches of the feet together, letting the knees fall out wide, and then you are squeezing into the inner thighs to draw those inner thighs together, and then you are starting to use your outer thighs to start to press outward and then squeezing those inner thighs to draw inward. So keeping this going, making sure that you've still got that neutral pelvis, you've got your core engaged, and you're really bringing your mind to the inner thighs, those muscles that we're working as we squeeze in. And then as you start to open the knees to come out, you're imagining that you are resisting something. So you have some resistance on the outside of those thighs as you start to open outward, and then squeezing the inner thighs, drawing inward. So really finding that connection to the pelvic floor as well, finding that zipping up sensation through the core muscles and keeping the ribs closed, shoulders relaxed, making sure you're breathing. And then coming back, we are starting to bring the knees inward and rounding the spine, chin to chest. And then as you inhale, starting to open the knees out, lengthening the spine back up. And we are going to keep this going. So we're starting to combine the same movement with a little bit of movement into the spine here as well, using your core to draw you all the way up as the knees open out. And then you are bringing the chin to chest as you start to squeeze those knees in, and belly button comes back toward the back body. Shoulders away from the ears, and keep this going. Make sure you're breathing, finding that connection into all of the muscles through the core, the inner thighs, the outer thighs, and we are stacking the vertebra of the spine as you come up. So really finding that beautiful long line from the tailbone out the top of the head as you find that lengthening up. And then let's stay here. And we are starting to bring the feet out a little bit wider, toes turned out, heels slightly turned in, and we've got the knees tracking in line with the toes. So we've got that beautiful line here and lengthening up through the spine, and you are twisting towards the left side as you start to lengthen the arm up and then lowering the elbow down into the side waist as you come back through center, and then inhale coming up and over, exhale coming back over to lower the elbow down toward the side waist. So as you continue with this, I really want you to keep that connection of core, keeping your ribs closed, shoulders are away from the ears, and let's come over to the other side. Twisting from the belly button up, and then we are starting to lengthen the arm up and over, opening the shoulder out and lowering the elbow down in towards the side waist. Making sure that your weight is very even through both feet. It is also even through the pelvis, so you've got a really neutral pelvis here, and letting the gaze follow the movement. Nice work. Let's come all the way back through center, and we are starting to heel toe the feet all the way back inward, and you're starting to walk the feet out. You can either have the toes coming back towards the face, or you can have the feet flat down onto the floor. Just starting to round forward, and then you are sweeping the arms all the way up, and then bring the belly button back towards the spine as you bring the arms forward, shoulders away from the ears. And then as you inhale, starting to bring the arms up overhead, lengthening up through the spine. As you exhale, belly button comes back towards the spine as you start to bring the arms all the way forward. And then we're going to stay here. This time we're going to continue with this, but we're going to be keeping length through the whole back, so the head is in the same line as the rest of the back. And you're starting to hinge forward, reaching the fingertips forward, and then using your core to draw you all the way back up, lengthening the arms up, and then circle sweep the arms around and reaching the arms forward, keeping that long line through the whole back. So making sure that you're not lifting the chin up too high. The back of the neck is in the same line as the rest of the back. So we are reaching as far forward as you can, and then you are using your core to draw you all the way back up, lengthening up, and then sweep the arms all the way around, and we are drawing all the way back up. Maybe you're finding that you're coming out a little bit further each time, really using those core muscles to draw you all the way up, and then coming all the way down. We're starting to just take a moment here to fold forward, letting the head come towards the knees, relaxing everything down, and taking a few final deep breaths here before we finish the class today. Well done, you guys. You've done amazing. I hope you enjoyed this workout as much as I did. And you can stay here in your fold for as long as you like before going about the rest of your day. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Can't wait to see you again soon. Take care.